I never thought I'd be the guy to bring down the notorious Deborah Jenkins. But sometimes life has other plans. For those who don't know me, I'm Mike Wilson, a child protective services worker who moved into Sunnyside Estates just 6 months ago. The neighborhood seemed perfect. Well, almost. The one exception was Deborah Jenkins, known to everyone as Karen, the iron-fisted president of our homeowners association. From the moment I moved in, Karen had made it her personal mission to document my every minor violation. My grass was half an inch too tall. My mailbox wasn't the right shade of brown. I once left my trash can out for an extra hour, which resulted in a strongly worded letter taped to my front door. But all of this was just a warm-up for the most dramatic showdown our quiet community had ever witnessed. It was a sweltering Saturday in July. The temperature had climbed to 98 degrees, and the humidity felt like swimming through soup. I was unloading groceries when I saw Karen marching across the street toward Mrs. Rodriguez's house, her clipboard clutched like a shield. Following behind her was her 8-year-old son, Tommy, looking thoroughly miserable in the heat. "Tommy, stay in the car," Karen snapped. "I just need a quick word with Mrs. Rodriguez about her unauthorized garden gnomes." I watched as she clicked the lock button on her key fob, not once, but twice. The windows were completely closed. I paused, a gallon of milk in my hand. Did she just lock her child in a car on one of the hottest days of the year? I looked closer. The car was off. No rumbling engine, no condensation from the AC. Just a small child sitting in what would quickly become a dangerous oven. In my line of work, I've seen far too many cases of children left in hot cars. I knew I had to act quickly, but professionally. I walked over to her car. Tommy was already sweating, his face flushed. I tapped on the glass. "Hey, buddy, are you okay in there?" He shook his head. "My mom says I have to stay here," he replied, his voice muffled. "It's really hot." I turned toward Mrs. Rodriguez's house, where Karen was gesturing wildly at a collection of gnomes. Before I could reach them, she spotted me. "Mr. Wilson," she said with a tight smile, "if this is about your unapproved bird feeder, I've already documented it." I kept my voice calm. "Actually, Mrs. Jenkins, I'm concerned about your son. You've left him locked in a car with no air conditioning." Her eyes narrowed. "I'm taking care of HOA business. I'll only be a few minutes. Tommy is perfectly fine." "Mrs. Jenkins," I interrupted, my professional tone firm despite my growing concern. "The interior of a car can reach 120 degrees in less than 20 minutes on a day like today. Your son is already showing signs of distress." Karen whipped around, her face flushed with anger. "Are you trying to tell me how to parent my child? Who do you think you are?" I took a deep breath. "I'm a child protective services worker, and I am legally obligated to intervene if I see a child in a potentially dangerous situation. Please unlock your car immediately." A flicker of uncertainty crossed her face before being replaced by pure indignation. "This is ridiculous! I know what's best for my son. Mind your own business and stop trying to undermine my authority." It was that phrase, "my authority," that confirmed it. She truly believed she was above reproach. "Mrs. Jenkins," I said firmly, "if you don't unlock your car right now, I'll have no choice but to call 911. Her eyes widened with disbelief. "You wouldn't dare! Do you know how many violations I could find at your house if I really looked?" I pulled out my phone and dialed 911, maintaining eye contact with her the entire time. When the dispatcher answered, I calmly explained the situation. "Yes, I'm reporting a child locked in a hot car. No, the mother is refusing to unlock it." Karen's face transformed from indignation to panic as she realized this was escalating, beyond her control. "This is absurd," she exclaimed, finally pulling out her keys. "I'm unlocking it right now." I thanked the dispatcher, but informed Karen that officers would still be responding as per protocol. By this time, several neighbors had emerged from their homes. I immediately went to the car and opened the door. Tommy practically tumbled out, his face bright red, his hair plastered to his forehead with sweat. "It was really hot in there," he said, gulping in the fresh air. I led him toward my house while Karen trailed behind us, alternating between defending her actions and threatening me with new HOA violations. When the officers arrived, they took statements from everyone. One officer used a thermometer to measure the temperature inside Karen's car. It had already reached a dangerous 132 degrees. The other officer spoke with Tommy, who admitted this wasn't the first time he'd been left in the car while his mom took care of HOA stuff. What happened next was something I never expected to witness in our quiet community. After conferring with their sergeant, the officers approached Karen. "Mrs. Jenkins," one officer said, firmly, "based on the evidence and witness statements, we're placing you under arrest for child endangerment." Karen's mouth fell open in shock. "Arrest? This is outrageous. Do you know who I am? I'm the president of the Homeowners Association." The officer was unmoved. As they handcuffed her, she looked frantically at the gathering crowd of neighbors, the very people she'd been terrorizing for years. "Tell them I'm a good mother. Tell them how I keep our neighborhood pristine." But nobody spoke up for her. In fact, several neighbors were nodding in approval as she was led to the police car. 3 days later, an emergency meeting of the HOA board was called. Karen's arrest had made the local news. By unanimous vote, she was removed from her position as president. The final blow came at her arraignment the following week. She was facing a Class A misdemeanor charge with potential penalties of up to a year in jail and a $4,000 fine. As the judge read the charges, her face crumpled in disbelief, her empire of petty rules and power trips collapsing around her in real time. "But I was just following the rules," she whispered, more to herself than anyone else. As the bailiff led her away, her clipboard and her authority permanently stripped from her.